There we are, welcome everyone then to game number 1 between Vinchester and Nicov. As we have blue and purple, we're going to change Vinchester's color to red to make the players easier to see. And yeah, let me just fix the scoreboard over here really quickly, right? We're going to have Vinchester with the Russian flag and Nicov with the Argentinian flag. Perfect. And what do we get over here? Well, Nicov up in the north playing with the Italians. It's going to have one of the civilizations we saw in the previous game we cast while trying to kill some time waiting for this one to begin. And it's going to get a 15% discount on fishing ships. It's going to get a 15% discount to go up to the next stage. It's going to have also 20% cheaper gunpowder units in addition to 33% cheaper technologies from docks and universities. Well, for the team bonus, Nicov Civilization is going to provide them with access to condottieri from the barracks in the Imperial Age. Towards the south, on the other hand, Italians counter the Mongols too. They should, yeah. Just Genoese crossbow is going to basically destroy everything that the Mongols get access to, except for siege. But then for that, he's going to have 20% cheaper gunpowder units, right? So bombard cannons. So yeah. And Vinchester Civilization, on the other hand, is going to provide them with 40% faster working hunters. Vinchester Civilization is going to provide them with 30% extra HP, unlike Cavalry Hussar and Steppe Lansdowne units. And we're going to have, in addition to that, for the Mongols, 25% faster attacking cavalry archers. Well, for the team bonus, they do get access to... They are going to have 2 extra line of sight on Scowland units, which makes scouting significantly easier for them, which is also very, very handy when you're trying to play for the hunting, right? You're just trying to find the deer, to push it, while still, hopefully, finding your herdables, finding your lurables as well. Yeah, and overall, I would imagine Vinchester Scout is already pretty good. Yeah, for his base, is fantastic. There we are. So for the map generation next, Nicov, we're gonna see for the bull player that we have 1 gold on the right hand side towards the north. Let's get another gold on the left hand side, and then for stone, we have a stone on the left hand side, we have another stone up in the north. Overall, it shouldn't be too difficult for him to secure resources. Just connecting dots over here, there are multiple ways in which he can wall himself. This is probably going to be the best on the left hand side so that he can secure this goal. However, on the right hand side, he can either go for something like from here to here, or alternatively something like this, which is going to be greedier. It's going to secure more resources, namely the wood line over here, but it's going to be significantly harder to protect, right? So maybe something like this perhaps would make more sense, or even something like this, perhaps. Will also be the case, right? He wouldn't be able to secure the stone or the other gold. He will still get access to this gold. He will still get access to the wool lines over here on the back, so it's not too bad. Down the south instead, we'll see for the red player. He's got 1 stone on the back, and that is so much better compared to the stones that were available to Nicov. We have the gold on the left hand side. For the red player, it's got to go on the right hand side as well, and it's going to be a little bit harder for him to wall himself in if he wants to secure some of the resources over here. For instance, the left hand side seems to be pretty straightforward, right? Something like this is already enough for him to wall himself. But on the right hand side, if he wants to protect this gold, he needs to go for the walls all the way around. Yeah, and because this wall line is already connecting to the edge of the map, he could be tempted to go for just something like this instead. And if that were to be the case, he would only be able to secure a single stone though. The best. Hey T-West! Hi, how are you doing? Welcome back. Hope everything's going alright for you. There we go, Nicov gets to the fuel H. The Navy production commences. Galleys on the way for Nicov. We have 2 docks from Vinchester as well. It's going to be galley production from both these guys. His starting production is there for Vinchester, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had a significant head start to the fuel age. Yes, about 26 seconds or so. So he's going to be the first player to get the galleys out. And Nico's not taking too much longer to get the galleys out. Plus, with the sea tower and the defender's advantage, Nico's going to be fine. Just 4 galleys here. 4 fishing ships over here. 4 galleys total. 2 for each player. Vinchester, if he plays his cards right, he should put himself in a very good spot, as he will be the first player to get the extra galleys out. This is maybe not the best position for him, though. Doesn't that getting chunked for a lot of HP from the galleys? But now he's bringing the extra units over. Can he clutch it up, though, and get a better engagement? Nicov is absolutely wary of the current situation. He's going to go back with the 2 remaining galleys. Well, with the 2 only galleys he's got, he's waiting for the extra units to come in. And Vinchester is ahead in navy count. He's got also the villagers trying to repair the weak galley. Nicov's coming forward with 4 galleys himself. He's not taking the time to repair the weak one, though. Plus, once Vinchester gets the 5th, the 6th galleys out, he's gonna be on the lead once again. Mine Imperial Skirmishers are really good versus Cataphracts. I imagine you're talking like with Lucho, right? Javelineers. Seems to me like that could very well be the case, yeah. Fletch is here for Vinchester. Fletch is not here for Nicov. And Vinch is going for extra galleys, and guys, so it begins. The first fishing ship goes down for Nicov. He does still have a comparable amount of units compared to Vinchester, but Vinchester will have extra galleys coming over. Once again, a head start to the fuel age. Gave him such a nice lead on navy production. This is just due to the Mongol faster working hunters, allowing them to go up faster despite the Italians' discount to go up to the next stage and whatnot. And Vinchester should be in a pretty good position because of it, and he's managed to take advantage of it for the most part, right? Sometimes we do see the players kind of struggle to take advantage of the civilization bonuses, but that's not going to be the case for Vinchester. 2, 3, 4 fishing ships down the gutter ready for Nicov. As Vinchester is going back right now to try to defend himself. He does have the fishing ships secured by the defensive galleys, but Nicov, he might be able to get 1 guy down over here, but he's also taking a lot of damage himself, and the HP pool is not even close. Vinchester is completely dominating the naval battle here. Warfare is certainly not keen on Nicov's kingdom, and Navy is going to get absolutely wiped out. For the Argentinians, now Vinchester is in a fantastic spot. It's going to be the player with the highest worker count, even if he got a little bit of extra LTs, not just because of the extra fishing ships, right? It's going to be the player with the most Navy units, and Nicov at this point would kind of make a mistake to continue going for extra Navy before clicking out to the castle age, right? He wants to prioritize going out to the castle age ASAP. So if he does choose to go for Navy, he's going to have, like, hopefully, the head start to the War Galley upgrade. Meanwhile, Vinchester's very close to having enough resources to go up to the castle age himself. As he's got in the market, he should be able to buy the resources he needs. He's just 80 foot short. But this is not good for Vinchester, though. Nico's actually getting away with a lot of damage. Seems like all the fishing ships are going down for Vinchester in the end. Yeah, well played. Well played, Nicov. Makes use of the remaining galleys he's got to take the fishing ships down, and Vinchester's finally on his way to the castle age. But he has kind of got an equalize for economy. By the time he does get to the castle age, Nico's already going to be ahead by a little bit. Alright. What does Nicov do? He does not go for any extra navy. So it's unlikely we'll see the War Galley come out for the Argentinian, which means Vinchester is most likely not going to end up getting full water control. He does have 2 docks, so should be able to continue producing fishing ships quite nicely, and then he's sending villagers over to the left-hand side already. Now, these won't go for any TCs or anything like that. He doesn't have the resource for it right now. But he could, of course. once he gets to the castle age, there is still some time for him to collect what he needs, right? Meanwhile, Nikov's got a head start to the castle age. It's going to be the first player to go for the second TC, and it's going to be on the right-hand side. Castle age is here for Vinchester as well. And he does have the second TC coming up on the left-hand side, yes. He managed to get enough resources in the last couple seconds to get it. Once again, though, Nicov did manage to clutch it up and take the fishing ships Vinchester paid for, once again, down. And as Vinchester finally cleans up the galleys from Nicov, now the red player will be the only player with access to the water, but he seems to be discouraged from going for any extra fishing ships, right? He's been taking a lot of losses so far. There you are. TC comes up. Nikov's going to get vision of this. Or not. Yes, he's going to get vision of this. And then on the right-hand side, I'm really sure if Vinchester is aware of this whatsoever. He's been just roaming around collecting from the deer. You know, interestingly enough, you were expecting the Mongols to be one of the better civilizations to take advantage of the neutral hunting, right? So something like this, the Mongols will take advantage of, and we already saw Vinchester collect from the deer on the left-hand side. It's going to continue to do so. And we see him go for a 30C on the right-hand side, and he has been collecting the deer already. However, every time that I have taken a look at the Mongol gather economy time and the actual resources collected on maps where they do have extra hunting, but do have to walk quite a lot in order to access that, it's never been quite as good as you would hope it to be. Actually, let's take a look at the gather economy time right now. Like, it's 2 minutes higher for Vinchester, right? And Nico's going to catch up very soon. He's got extra villagers. And if we take a look at the gather economy time, is that much better for Vinchester? I guess so, right? Like 400 extra resources. It's not too shabby, and that's going to be also a lot of extra food for him, right? So he did collect 1,000 extra food compared to Nicov. So in this case, it will be the case indeed that Vinchester is able to take advantage of the faster working hunters, but it's not a massive lead total for resources. It's going to be mainly just the food aspect of it. Yeah, Nico's done a really good job, you know, so long as he's able to sustain production from the extra TCs, he doesn't need to care about it. That is not currently possible though. Nico's got only 10 food workers, Vinchester's got 19. So we should see the Russian player keep the PCs queued up much better compared to Nicov. We should see the Russian player start pulling ahead in villager count very soon. He's got even a 4 TC on the way, so 3 TCs working much better compared to Nicov's was not enough. Now the 4 TC will certainly allow Vinchester to get ahead by a lot. Alright, there we go. Yeah, Nicov, with the Defender Siege workshop over here, Defensive Siege workshop, is able to hold on for the time being. Vinchester. It's going to lose some mangonel over here as well. Yes, sir. And Nicov's able to defend himself just fine up in the north. I was expecting Vinchester to start pulling ahead in worker count, but it's actually just the same worker count right now compared to Nicov. I think it's probably because of wheelbarrow. He might have gone for it very recently. Otherwise, he probably would have gotten ahead already, but yeah, it's probably just wheelbarrow, which Nicov, we know, is not very keen on. He will take a lot longer to go for it. Instead, we see Sanctity coming out for Nicov. You know, he can make a play for Monks if he wanted to with the Italians. He gets all the monetary upgrades except for Heresy. He does have a good amount of monks already. Just going for a defensive Mangonel. Oh, good job, a good reaction from Nicov as well, and the counterattack's going to be good, actually chunking a bunch of HP off the Mangonel, and the Mangonel goes down in the end. Well done. That DC is goner. Now Vinchester's getting a defensive castle up. Well, I probably would have preferred Vinchester to try and get the castle up on the left-hand side, but you gotta respect the push from Nicov over here, right? Especially when Vinchester's got the TC right next to the center, the fourth one. Or the third remaining one, right? So he kind of needs to go for something like this. Oh, that was a nasty shot, though. That castle's getting the lead. It's not going to get denied, but it's going to come at a lot of losses. Vinchester is taking a lot of, bloodshedding over here. My lord! All the villagers go down in the end. Vinchester is able to get the castle up with one final hammer from a single villager. So this is very much that castle. But at the very least, it's going to prevent Nicov from pushing further from the north, right, and from the east. Although we see Nicov going for a 4 castle himself. This did come at a very, very high price. Take a look at Vinchester's Eco KD. He's lost 34 Eco units so far. He was able to get only 4 of the fishing ships, right? And his economy is going to be much smaller compared to Nicov, so that's going to allow the bull player to go up to the Imperial Age earlier. With the castle coming up over here on the right hand side, that means that once Nicov gets up to the 4th age, he'll be the first player with access to trebuchets by a long shot, and Vinchester might be able to go up to the Imperial Age himself sometime soon, but it's definitely not going to be enough for him to offset for trebuchet production at all. Second castle is on the way for Vinchester on the left hand side. That castle over there, that was an absolute turning point. Up until that point, Vinchester was not only competitive with the worker count against Nicov, he was very much looking like he was going to get ahead by a lot. From that point onwards, with all the villagers going down from Vinchester, well, Nicov's now looking a lot stronger himself. Hey, Hardcore Massive. Hi, welcome. And they're coming out already for Vinchester. Yeah, it's a good unit, right? And he's got 2 castles. Definitely should try and get a good amount of these so that he's got something to upgrade once he gets to the Imperial Age. Now the problem is, once again, with a massive head start that Nicov's got to the Imperial Age. If he's able to get the castle up over here on the left hand side, might be able to go for trebuchets and try to contest Vinchester's castle. On the right hand side, we know for sure that he's gonna go for the trebuchets himself. However, up in the north, Nicov's trying to get the castle out. That is going to come at a lot of losses as well. We have the Mango guy, we have the galleys over here trying to get villagers down, and he's going to get a bunch of villagers down for the most part. It's not going to be anywhere near as much damage as what Nicov was able to get done on Vinchester's builders on the right hand side. So EKD is still favoring Nicov by quite a lot, and there we go. Imperial Age is here, so Nicov should be going for trebuchets right away. And he's got the first trebuchet on the way. He's got conscription on the way in addition to handcart. He's going for fletching as well. He's going to try and make a play for the Genovese crossbow, especially now that he knows Vinchester's going for the Bangalai. It's a no-brainer. Third castle's on the way for Nicov on the left-hand side. Third castle's on the way for Vinchester back home. Interesting to see Nicov go for the Genovese crossbowman from the left-hand side castle as opposed to the trebuchets. Now Vinchester's gotten to the Imperial Age himself, and he should be going for trebs now that he knows about Nikov's 4 castle. If he doesn't, then Nikov's going to be able to outproduce him with 2 castles producing from the left-hand side compared to just 1. Right-hand side, yeah, second trebuchet. already comes out for Vinchester. Beautiful. Now the gas is on the way for Vinchester. He's got the trebuchets on the way. Nicov. Nicov should have the trebuchets on the way as well. He's releasing from only one castle, so it's gonna take a while. Might be spreading himself a little bit too thin over here. Nicov was able to push on the right hand side. He invested a lot of resources over there. He's going for a 4 castle now. Right next to Vinchester's base. And there you are. Beautiful. Now they're just trying to get the trebuchet down. And these are not elite Mangudai, so the bonus damage they deal against Siege is nowhere near as strong. You can see that he's struggling actually to get the Mangudai down. Take a look at that. Nicov's paying attention, so he's just trying to keep them the trebuchets up. The Mangudai were struggling to get the trebuchet down, sorry, but yeah, Nicov's going to keep the trebs up. He's going to get the castle down, and Vinchester is still in the game. He is still trying to catch up. But given the matchup over here and all the damage that Nicov's been able to do up until this point, Vinchester were able to take this game. It would definitely be a comeback situation because Nicov's definitely the one with the momentum right now. The bombard cannons coming over. The trebuchets are going down as Nikov's bombard cannons are too strong for the Mongols to fight against. Yeah, and the Genoese crossbows are coming over. Convenient control for both these guys. Not enough Genoese crossbows to take on the Mangudai over there, but he does end up getting some good damage done. Vinchester will get the bombard coming down, but still we have both trebuchets left for Nicov to take the DC down, the castle down next. And this is going to be it, guys. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a way back for Vinchester at all as Nicov's coming further into Vinchester's base. With the Genoese crossbows, he was going to get another castle up. And Vinchester goes on to call the GG. And Nicov gets a huge win. He needs to get good results in the remaining series he's got because it's been really lackluster for him every time. So Vinchester loses game number 1. Nicov takes the first game of the series over here. Let's take a look at the achievements before hopping out and back into game number 2. We'll see a better KD for Nicov, approaching 43, but not quite as high. We're going to have for economy. A stronger economy for Nicov as well, collecting about 7,000 extra resources, close to it. 6,600 or so. A stronger villager max count for Nicov. He ended up taking the fewest losses over here, having lost only 12 villagers throughout the game, while Vinchester ended up losing, oh my lord, just so much. 53 workers throughout the game. Damn. So this puts Nicov in a good position. We'll see what we get for game number 2. But it's looking much better for Nicov right now compared to the previous sets that he's played up until this point. And so we find ourselves in game number 2. With Nicov playing in the south in the blue color with the Lithuanians. Starting with 150 extra food. We're going to see Nicov also get 10% faster moving skirm and spearline units. Besides that, for the Lithuanians, he gets 1 extra attack on knights and light units per each relic garrison, up to 4 relics, so up to 4 attack. And then for the team bonus, his monastery will work 20% faster, so it's going to be easier for him to go and collect the relics, right? To try and go out and collect the relics. Vinchester, on the other hand, playing with the Mayans, will get 1 extra villager at the start of the game at the expense of 50 food. It's gonna have 15% longer lasting resources, in addition to 10, 20, 30% cheaper archers, and for the team bonus, cheaper walls. Checking the map generation for both these guys. We'll notice Nikov's got the main goal in the back, so that's fantastic for him. He's got the stone in the back over here. It's going to be the secondary stone, but even the main stone is going to be on the left-hand side, very close to the TC, in such a way that he could very easily go for some walls like this and secure this one as well. On the right-hand side, and because he's so close to the corner of the map, it shouldn't be too difficult for Nicov to go for something like this, and then from here to here, and that should allow him to secure the secondary goal on the right-hand side. The other secondary goal that's going to be on the right-hand side, but towards the north, it's going to be kind of exposed. And I guess just berries will be exposed over here, but he could also just try and get the walls like this, right? And this way, he will be able to secure that, potentially just completely close himself off. Well, if we take a look at Vinchester's map generation, on the other hand, he is also close to the corner of the map. But there's one big difference over here. Vinchester does not have a back wall line whatsoever. Meanwhile, Nicov does actually have one over here in the corner. So for the red player, he's got the main goal on the right hand side. He's got the main stone towards the southwest. Secondary stone is going to be on the right hand side, and we're going to see the secondary goal on the left hand side as well. The secondary goal, the other secondary goal, the missing one, is going to be towards the south. It's very far away, very exposed. And if he gets this, right, the walls up like this, he should secure himself completely, and he should be able to secure 1, 2 minerals and the berries. But the problem, once again, is that there are no safe wood lines. Of course, given Nikov's civilization, I don't really expect to see Nicov be the one to go for with archers, right? So the wood lines forward for Vinchester are still going to be alright. If it were Nicov with this map generation, then that'd be rough, because you're expecting the Mayan player to go for archers, but Lithuanians probably just gonna go for scouts if they go for military whatsoever, right? We could very well see also Nicov just try to play for a fast castle, although that doesn't seem to be the case. He's just going out to the fuel age right away on 18 population, right? So it's gonna try and make a play for scouts indeed. Yeah. Very aggressive build from Nicov. I love it. He's pushed the deer. He's taking the boar. He's, for the most part, ignored the sheep. He's not collecting whatsoever from the berry bushes. He's just gonna try and make a play for scouts and Vinchester. Vinchester's going for the walls already, and Nicov. Oh boy. This could be rough, though. This could be rough. If Nicov realizes about the walls, you know, well, he's already clicked up to the fuel age, right? So there is no way for him to try and adapt over here and make a play for the castle age. I mean, he could not go for scouts and just try to save the resource and go up to the castle age, but it's going to be so rough for him. He's already invested some resource into going for militias. Vinchester's got some militias coming forward. Yeah, and Vinchester's going to be completely walled off very soon, so Nicov is in a little bit of a rough position, for sure. Village is here for Nicov. He's going for the man-town's upgrades. He's going to try and breach through. There's one downside to the walls that Vinchester's gone for, and we have discussed this multiple times in the past already. When you go for massive, extensive walls, they're going to be kind of hard to defend, right? But Vinchester does have villagers towards the southeast at hand already to provide protection to both these segments. And on the left-hand side, is going to be a little bit more exposed. So if Nicov went over to the left-hand side with the Minotaurs, he should be able to breach through over here pretty easily. It's not thinking of it, it's just trying to battle the house down. Down the south. Because got archers coming out already as well. Yeah, and it's not going to be scouts in the end. Well, he did adapt, but it was not going to be for a fast castle. it was going to be to deny the wool lanes over here. This is actually really good. If Nicov manages to take advantage of the head start that he's gotten to the fuel age to get a good amount of archers out, he could go for fletching, he could send the archers forward, and he could prevent Vinchester from collecting wood whatsoever, right? I think Vinchester would only have access to the wood on the left-hand side even against fuel age archers with fletching because they would not have enough range to push the villagers away from here, but yeah. It's interesting for sure. Here we are. Here comes Nicov. So we'll have armors house -1, right? Yes, the houses, they get negative armor. Depending on the age, I believe it's -2 in the Dark Age, -1 in the Fuel Age, and then no negative armor in the Castle Age. If I'm not mistaken, that's the way that I recall. And walls they do have armor. They do not have armor when they're in Foundation state. Oh no, that's the gates actually. Yeah, they have no armor. I believe that the standard wall segment still they do have some. The pressure coming in for Nicov and Vinchester. Vinchester went up on 31 population. He was still not able to fast castle over here. It's been a lot of pressure coming in for Nicov. The Argentinian player's done a really good job, and now he's coming in. Oh no, actually miscalculated which tile to take down, so now the house is there. Should still be able to come in, but Vinchester has had enough time to get the walls up. Second layer of walls up. Beautiful. It's about to reach through. And the villagers are going for the quick walls, the stone walls. There is no choice for Vinchester. Nothing else is going to suffice. He still does end up losing one villager. Manages to push Nicov away for the most part. Now Nicov's got the hill advantage. There we go. Vinchester's defender's advantage over here, though, should be enough for him to clean the units up. Nicov is getting wiped out over here. And back home. Back home, he is getting the walls up. These are not the walls that I was expecting to see on the right-hand side specifically. I thought he was going to try and connect the wool lines, but he did not scout the right-hand side wool line. Otherwise, this would have been much better, right? So he would have been able to secure this. However, given the vision he had, the walls are pretty good. And he will still end up securing the wood line back home, like on the very back. Yeah, and Vinchester's got a sneaky militia over here, getting some scouting information, but back home, the reaction he had against Nikov's push actually ends up delaying him to the Castle Age much further. And Nicov is going to be the first player to go up to the Castle Age himself, despite having gone up to the Fuel Age on 18 freaking population. How insane is that? The Nicov is able to go up to the Castle Age faster than Vinchester, given the just ridiculous economy that Vinchester went out to the Fuel Age with. It's just amazing. Nikov's done a really good job with putting pressure, with balancing his economy, and with getting a significant head start to the Castle Age. Once he gets there, of course, The next play for Nicov is gonna be try and... Obviously, he wants to go for some economy if possible. He ended up selling the stones, so he wouldn't be able to go for the extra TCs unless he buys some. But in any case, he also wants to try and make a play for the relics. Very, very important for the Lithuanians to prioritize that. Vinchester got to the castle age, and he was able to take like 3 relics himself. He will only leave 2 relics up for grabs for Nicov. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the blue player's scouting information. But wait a moment, though. Good reaction. Nicov's paying attention. Yes. So yeah, let's take a look at Nikov's scouting information to see if he knows where the relics are and if he's gonna be in a position to go and collect those actually. Well, he knows about 2 out of 5. One is on the back of Vinchester's base. The other one, the other 2 actually are on the left-hand side, beyond, yeah, Nikov's point of view. Second stable's already up for Nicov and Vinchester. Vinchester is going up to the casters right now. Nikov's got knights on the way. He does not seem particularly interested in going for any extra TCs to try to play for economy, so it's going to be a full 1 TC push coming in from Nicov with the Lithuanians. I still say should try and go for the monastery if possible, and now that he's gonna have some sort of map control or map presence at the very least with the knights, just try and collect the relics. Try to do it now before Vinchester gets to the castle age and is able to start denying the extra relics himself. Oh, that's a good catch actually. Yes, Nicov did end up losing a village. I'm not really sure we can see it anymore. But yeah, one of the villages went down trying to get the stable up. Anyway. Nice mango shot. 2 villagers going down from Vinchester. 3 villagers going down from Vinchester. And here comes the pressure from Nicov. That's a lot of knights. Got scale bar than armor already. +1/+1. No chain bar than armor yet. Against few archers, it would actually make still a difference. Go for chain bar than armor. He would end up taking only 1 damage per shot compared to 2 right now, given that Vinchester already has fletching. The defensive castle's coming out for Vinchester. This could be a pretty similar situation to what we saw in the previous game, right? Where Nikov's coming in and he's able to maybe not deny the castle, but delay it significantly. Notice how Vinchester is just trying to bait the mangonels. Yeah, so that Nicov does not go forward anymore. Otherwise, he probably would have been able to delay the castle over there significantly. Now, bucking arrow for Vinchester, no, he's got the crossman upgrades going for Bow-Saw. Yeah, and blocking the knight from the blacksmith going down. I don't think he's got another blacksmith. No, but he should definitely be thinking of going for one. Of course, he's gonna need it. Yeah, Nikov's still sticking to 1 TC only, right? He's not collecting stone whatsoever. And he needs to go for chain bar than armor, even if he's got the blacksmith down and there's no blocking arrow over here for Vinchester. Chain bar than armor would make these knights so much stronger as well, and in the end it seems to me like he's going to end up cleaning up the units from Vinch. He's got still the mangonels to work with. And I'm still waiting to see the monastery come up for Nicov. He's not going for it. Alright. I don't know. Especially after taking a lot of HP losses to the crossbows, it seems to me like a monastery would be a no-brainer. If he's got the villager forward still alive somewhere, should definitely consider going for it. Doesn't seem like he does though. At the very least I don't see it right now. He didn't lose it, we know that, because the only villager he lost went down to the stable. Yeah, there we go. He's got the villager on the left-hand side. Yeah, that's good, and ideally he wants to go for Die Kirche. Monastery. Well, it's technically a church, I guess, what I said, but regardless. Here come the mangonels, and Vinchester's trying to go for a defensive castle. Again. This time around, Nicov is forward much earlier, but won't be able to deny the castle either. So Vinchester is holding on over here really well, and Nicov, well, you gotta hand over to him though. He did manage to get a significant military lead over here. He did manage to keep up with worker production as well. He's actually on a little bit of a lower idle TC time counter compared to Vinchester. I was gonna try and breach through a different angle. He could potentially just take the TC down. You see a little elevation over here, right? Nicov could very well end up taking the TC down over here if he just gets the mountains up a little bit further north. He will be taking advantage of the hill. And the TC should be going down. There we go. Beautiful. There's a counterattack coming out from Vinchester now. Ah, Kloster is monastery. Kirche is church indeed. Monastery is still was not taught to me by Duolingo yet. Kloster, and is that female, male, neutral? Noita. It's going to see on the way for Vinchester. Nicov was already on 2 TCs. He's going for the 3rd TC right now. It's looking good. Where were you based again, Kyoto? I keep on forgetting. Was it Denmark? Switzerland? Adas. Alright, thank you. Yeah, church is female, right? D. Nice. And one of these days I'll be able to chat to you in German. There we go. Nice shots though! Checking a bunch of HP off the remaining Plum Archers over there, and the villager did go down for Nicov, so now he's gotta be careful. He cannot keep on repairing the mountains anymore. But we could see some very good shots over here. If he plays his cards right, might be able to flatten all the Plum Archers, but the unit control from Vinchester is solid. As he dances around the projectiles, the Plum Archers will stay alive and will prevent Nicov from putting any extra pressure anymore. I grew up in Denmark, but have spent most of my life since 2010 in Germany, and I've grown up with both Danish and German. Right, that makes sense. Thank you. So you speak both, right? You speak Danish, you speak German. Und du sprichst auch English. Richtig? Now, I tell you, my German level is very low, but I just get so excited when I can actually build a sentence that fits the occasion. Anyway. Pressure coming in from Nicov is... And they're running out of steam, right? Doesn't really have too many units over here anymore. Beautiful. Nicov is just going to go back. He's getting finally chain barred armor. This is an upgrade I was hoping to see. This is much earlier. But he's finally getting it now. However, he does not really have too many units. ready to take advantage of that. And I am still waiting, yes, for this exactly. That's Klosta. I was still waiting for the monastery to come up from Mr. Nicov so that he can go and start collecting the relics. It's extremely important for the Lithuanians to try and secure these. Vinchester, interestingly enough, is going out to the Imperial Age already. Has not gone for a monastery himself, so he's not going to be in a position to deny the relics from Nicov right now. And if Nicov can at the very least get 2, that'd be good. Ideally, he wants to get more than that, of course. He wants to get up to 4. But even 3 is going to be so good, and that will make these knights so much harder to deal with. That was not the aim to see? No, no, it's the wheelbarrow TC, so Nico's not going to have a wheelbarrow. It's not like he is... He's already used to playing without the upgrade, so it's fine. Yeah, but the aim to see is the one in between the castles, so that's good. Every day usually is in English, plus German, plus Danish, plus Chinese. Damn, I didn't know you spoke Chinese too. The polyglot. Danish very little orally because I almost never meet Danish speaking people. Right. Damn, you speak more languages than I do. That is saying something. Wheelbarrow's coming out for Nicov. Vinchester has not. Does not really have the ability to go for wheelbarrow anymore, right? He's got just a 1 to see research in the Imperial Age, so he's going for wheelbarrow afterwards. And he gets there. So we have conscription and chemistry on the way. Vinchester's unit count is much lower compared to Nikov's. Nikov's momentum, however, is very strong still. 7 manas. Oh, nice mango shot! Pow! From Mr. Nicov. Was paying attention back and in front as well. Bunch of the pull notchers actually ended up getting chunked for a lot of HP as well. So even if he was not able to straight out take the units down, he was still able to chunk a bunch of HP off, right? So 1 more shot in those guys, and they will get flattened for the most part. Brace is about to finish researching. Chemistry is going to be here also for Mr. Vinchester, which will put him in a much better position to try and take engagements with the pull archers against siege weapons. He's taking the scorpions down, for instance, right? And he can go after the mountains right now. Doesn't really have too many units left though. Nicov? Nicov's finally on his way to the Imperial Age. He's bringing the knights over. He's kind of attacking his own knights over there. Nicov's got to be careful. And the pull archers, they will just bail towards the castle. 3 manas left for Mr. Nicov. There we go. Beautiful. Nova, what's your 1v1? Right now, I'm a proud 1100. Back in the day, I probably would have been higher, so I'm just trying to get back in shape. Extra sales on the way for Nico, so it's just going to commit to the night. To the night play, and Vinchester is still going pretty heavily into pull archers, right? They don't see a spearman transition whatsoever. Say, am I saying Vito? Yeah. I'm hoping that, yeah, this year I'm going to get back in shape. Hopefully go back to maybe 1300, 1400. Ideally, I would like to get to 1700 this year. That'd be an ideal goal, right? But realistically, I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to dedicate to actually playing the game, so if I can just get to like 1400, I'm going to be happy still. Forecast coming in for Vinchester. he started to pick up some steam, even if they're working on significantly higher for Nicov. Vinchester is the player with momentum right now. He's got Ring Arch Armor coming out, which will make these Pulled Archers significantly stronger as well. Nicov is getting Plate Bar than Armor, so that should make these Knights significantly stronger, right? We are waiting for the Cavalier upgrade. He's got the resources, he's just not queued it up. And we know that he does have the stables. He's got more than enough stables to go for Cavalier and produce units at the same time, but he was waiting so that he could go for Chemistry, and that's gonna give him access to the Bombard Cannon, so he was prioritizing the defense first. Yeah. You have a lot of game knowledge. Surprisingly, you're not higher. Yeah, my mechanics are in the gutter right now. At the very least, when I played the placement matches, my mechanics were in the gutter. I've been practicing for the majority of January, just trying to get back in shape against the AI here and there. Just trying to sneak some playtime whenever I can, and I can tell you, during January, I have played more Age of Empires 2 than I have played during the last 3 years, probably, or so. And it was not really a lot of playing time, and it's all right. Like, it's coming back slowly, and I'm gonna start playing ranked once again this month. Hopefully, that's gonna be enough for me to start catching back up. Pressure from Vinchester is very high still. Cavalier is finally on the way also for Nicov. That should put him in a good position. He's gotten only one relic throughout the game so far. This is not good for Nicov. He's not really taking advantage of his civilization whatsoever. He's going for Forging right now. That's going to be just +2. In the Imperial Age, it's not enough. With the Lithuanians, it's not enough. He's got him the second relic. There we go. So that's going to be +3 at the very least. That's better. Ideally, he wants to get to +4, the least. And here he comes with the Bombard Cannon. He's got the Surround going against the Pulled Archer as well. The Bombard Cannon can actually take on the Pulled Archers over here as well. And is this going to be the time for Vinchester to make the transition to Halberdier? You know, he's been kind of sticking to Pulled Archer production for the most part, but now Cavalier are getting a lot of damage done. Vinchester should at the very least consider it, right? Making a transition to the Spear Line unit, because even if the Pulled Archers are not getting wiped out by the Cavalier, they are still unable to keep on pushing because Cavalier will chase these units away, and Vinchester doesn't really have the ability to do too much. Search Cavalier just in time before the stable was destroyed, literally 1 second later, and it would have been denied. Yeah, probably he could have. He would have had to queue it up from a different stable, but that would have been a lot of wasted time. Some of the monks do go down from Nicov. That's going to be a bunch of gold down the drain for sure. And Vinchester is still on a much smaller work count, but once again, the Mayans, I mean, the amazing civilization they are, the very cost-effective civilization, the very efficient civ they are. I don't really care about that too much, right? Because units are significantly pricier, so he does need the economy. I think my game knowledge from knowing the game since late 2002 is also very high. Oh, Justin! As I was starting to read your message, Nicov goes on to call the GG over here. Now, I think he could have kept on trying. Given the amount of resources he had, the amount of stables he had, he could definitely have kept on trying, but I assume he got discouraged over here. Vinchester's score lead was good. He was definitely getting some momentum over here, the Russian player, right? He was picking up some steam. He was most likely not going to take down the castle. And Nicov seems like he lost one of the relics he had gotten access to, so that also has to hurt. But a few missteps over here from the Argentinian, I gotta say. Vinchester played this game really well. Nicov could have prioritized the relics a little bit more. He could have tried a little bit more over here. He could have done a bunch of things differently, but obviously spectating is one thing, playing is something else entirely, and I'm just not going to sit here backseating Nicov too much. Let's go and take a look at the achievements. For military, better KD for Nicov, 65, close to it. Kinda needed that, given the fact he was going for pricier units. He did end up collecting about 5,000 extra resources as well, with tons of extra villagers he had to work with. Anything lower than that would have been too low. But yeah, in the end, Vinchester taking game number 2 is going to equalize the series over here. We're going to have one more game to go for in the series. See who takes the set. But yeah, Nicov, once again, he is with the back against the wall. He needs to get the wins, man. He needs to get the wins. Let's see what saves we have left. There we go. Welcome, everyone. It's game number 3, the final one on the series. Nicov is going to play with Portuguese on the left-hand side towards the northwest with the Portuguese. Vinchester is going to have Bengalis towards the southeast. So Portuguese for Nicov is a very interesting civilization. And we were noting before that Nicov did not really seem to have an arena-specific civilization, like a very strong arena-specific civilization. Vinchester, on the other hand, he not only had Bengalis, but he also had, if I'm not mistaken, Bohemians, was it? Let me take a look. He had Bengalis and Poles, not Bohemians. No, he had Poles. But yeah, Nicov on the other hand, not so much. So Portuguese is probably his best shot on this one. Talking about the civilization, what do we have for the bull player? Well, he's gonna have first off 30% faster research and upgrades. We're gonna see for the Portuguese in addition to that 25% wood income from the berries. It's gonna have a 20% gold discount on military units. Actually, all units. Most predominantly utilized for military units, unless you're going for monks, right? Yeah. Well, I guess monks are military as well. It's just the trade cards that are going to be non-military units. But besides that, we also see for the Portuguese access to victory in the Imperial Age. And moving over to Vinchester civilization on the other hand, we'll see what the red player gets with the Bengalis. 2 additional villagers spawning from each TC every time that he moves on to the next stage. We're gonna see for the Bengalis 1 extra. What am I talking about? He's going to get, sorry, with the Bengalis 3 extra armor for melee and for pierce for monks, right? So +3/+3 armor on monks. He does have, in addition to all of that, with the Bengalis also elephants that take 25% less bonus damage. They are going to have some conversion resistance, and then for the team bonus finally, Bengalis are going to have actually a bonus that is only relevant for team games. So yeah. Anyway, taking a look at the map generation, starting with Mr. Nicov. Very, very important set once again. We're gonna see that the blue player, he's got the main gold on the back. He's got the secondary gold towards the south over here in front of his DC, kind of forward. And then the main stone is going to be on the back. So the main stone, the main gold, those are going to be on the back. Those are going to be good. But yeah, the secondary gold over here is not in the best position. Meanwhile, we take a look at the secondary stone. It's also going to be forward. It's not just this, but if we scroll down a little bit further, notice that all these resources are kind of close together. And you know what that means. If this gold eventually gets spotted by Vinchester, you know, scouting around here, we could very well see the red player eventually, if he were to go for a forward castle at some point, not something that he's gonna go right away for, but yeah, Something like this. Will eventually end up denying all 3 resources from Nicov, which is not ideal. Meanwhile, taking a look at Vinchester's map generation on the other hand, we're going to see for the red player that he's got the main goal in the back as well. And pretty similarly to Nicov, he's got the secondary goal forward. Unlike Nicov, however, the secondary goal outside the wall is not going to be close by to the secondary goal inside the wall, so it's going to be much harder for Nicov to come forward. And this is probably going to be more likely the case, right? I would imagine that Nicov's going to try and make a play for like organ guidance and for aggression. So if Nicov were the one to scout around and he got vision of this gold over here, he wouldn't really be able to go for a single fortification that would end up denying everything. So he would have to make the choice. Oh god, it's not a good castle. I'm just gonna have to build it here and then move it. Imagine if you could do that, right? Like the Age of Empires 4 Mongols, you just pack it up and move it elsewhere. How strong would that castle be? Anyway, yeah, this is what we get, right? He would have to make a choice. Does he want to deny this gold and this stone, or does he want to deny the other gold and the stone? It's still going to result in the same, one of the secondary golds being denied and one of the stones being denied, but it's not going to be anywhere near as nice like what Vinchester could get if he went for a single fortification on the left-hand side. Village is here. Here we are. One second. Alright. Castle Edge on the way for Nicov. He's collecting stone quite heavily. Quite heavily. 10 stone miners. Beautiful. Here comes Nicov. And Vinchester, well, if Vinchester had gotten a few extra scouts out, he would definitely be in a position to potentially deny Nicov from coming forward. But now he's going to be forced into bringing villagers over instead. Yes, yes, yes. Vinchester's got the villagers moving in, and Nicov's got the villagers moving in as well, and it's going to be a Vil fight. There we go. Nicov is trying for dear life to wall the villagers over here. He cannot do it though! The scout from Vinchester is just stepping over the foundation of the house over here. So Nikov's still going to remain very much open. Is he though? Is he though? He's not. He's not. The relic is blocking this. But the gate goes down and Nikov's chances of getting the castle up over here evaporate. As the villagers from Vinchester outnumber, well, not really outnumber the villagers from Nicov, but between the villagers from Vinchester and the military units, Nicov finds himself outnumbered and he will have to bail and go for a defensive castle instead. And this is huge for Vinchester. Nicov just spent a lot of time, a lot of resources going forward. Kind of committed trying to get the castle up, ends up losing one of the villagers as well. Another one. 2 villagers going down. 3 villagers going down so far. Made that 4 villagers going down already from Nicov. As they go back home with their tail between their legs. We'll see. Trail of blood. Now Vinchester, triumphant, goes back home. in a much better position, of course. He was able to get 5 villagers from Nicov, as a matter of fact. Yes, total. Organs are really broken, so it's not quite over. We'll see. We'll see. It's gonna take quite some catching back up for Nicov to, well, catch back up, right? It's gonna take a lot for him to offset for all the damage he has taken so far, especially as Vinchester gets to the Castle Age, and he should be going for a second TC very soon, which will allow him to get ahead in military significantly, right? Nicov is collecting some stone as well. He's got only 2 stone miners. He doesn't even have a mining camp over here, so it's gonna take a while before he is able to afford yet another castle. Instead, he's going for a monastery right now. This could be good. Monks and organ guns are fantastic. It's just kind of sad to see Nicov's economy be as, you know, bad as it is right now. Only 5 gold miners, 4 food workers. That's not going to be enough for him to even sustain villager production, right? He's going for another food worker. He's trying to balance his economy and hopefully keep the TC going. But for the time being, it's been pretty rough for Nicov. Not only he got pushed back from trying to get the castle forward, now he's gotten the most idle TC time. Vinchester's certainly going to be the only player going for any extra TCs this game. And because he's got a monastery already up, he's got sanctity as well, Vinchester should be in a position to defend himself just fine as well. He can go for redemption. He can take on the organ guns over here, and the chances of Nicov taking this game are certainly going lower and lower by the minute. While Vinchester does have the second TC on the way. Could very well go for a third TC very soon as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see it come up around here, right? Yes. I feel like Redemption Monks would be the best play from Vinchester, and it looks like that's his play. Yeah, I completely agree as well. And you know, it's going to be cheaper for him to just go for just monks compared to Nicov, who's got to pay for the monks and for the organ guns. So Vinchester should be able to keep his production going at the same time, and basically every conversion that he gets against Nicov is just going to be a, you know, the turn of the knife against Nicov. Just going to twist the knife, right? There we are. He's just gotten redemption. He's got sanctity. These monks are already the best they are going to be in the fuel age, in the castle age, sorry. Said maybe for forever, but might not make too much of a difference. Yeah, Nicov gets pushed back. He's struggling. Even if he managed to breach through, though, he comes in. And what does he do, though? Not too much. Alright. So the conversion's coming up once again. He's targeting 3. He's going to target 4. He's going to get 3. He's going to get 3 out of 4 conversions. And you know what? He'll take it. He's taking 2. Oh my lord! He's taking 3 freaking organ guns from Nicov with the converted ones. And now we have the same amount of organ guns. Well, not anymore. Vinchester just lost the 1. But for a moment over there, we have the same amount of organ guns for both these players. And yeah, Vinchester is in a much better position. Nikov's gotta... He's gotta be frustrated right now. This was the only play he could possibly go for. And it's just proven to be insufficient. It's just not good. Just not good enough. It's gonna try and make a play for the Imperial Age next. I mean, I guess so. What is it gonna do? Bombard cannons? Probably. Vinchester is going for a defensive castle. I don't think he's going to struggle to defend himself too much until he's got the means to go up to the next stage himself. And once he does so, if he gets block printing, of course, that should be enough for him to even deny the bombard cannons, right? So, I don't know. It's just not good for Nicov. He's gonna try, right? He's gotta try. Once again, it's very important for Nicov to try and win the series that he's got left in the tournament, but realistically, you take a look at this. You take a look at Nicov going out to the Imperial Age. And you see, well, imp into what? Imp into GG? I don't think we have a tournament, though, for anyone, right? It would only work if Nicov had a 4 position. I completely agree with you. Yes. Second monastery is coming in for Nicov as well, and Vinchester. Vinchester's getting the castle up. He's got Fervor on the way. Fervor doesn't really change too much of anything for him right now. It's not like he's gonna be trying to dodge the shots from the Organ Guns or anything, and it's just going to make the monks a little bit more mobile, right? To go around the map. But the Imperial Age should be on the way for Vinchester very soon as well, and Nicov's not even going to be up by the time Vinchester clicks up. He needed a much more massive head start to it. Yeah, Nicov is not even trying anymore. Just going to delete that one. Got too close to the sun, recognized he wouldn't be able to pull the unit away fast enough, and he just deleted the organ gun. So now he's got 2 organ guns left, make that 3. It's got 7 monks. He's going for a tournament. This I like from Nicov, and this is what I was wondering if Vinchester had gone for. I don't think he knows about the monks from Nicov, though. Well, he knows about the monastery. But in any case, the moment that Nicov tries to target a single monk from Vinchester, then the red player is going to go for a tournament himself. Rathas on the way. Nicov, he's got block printing coming up. Yeah, okay, so he sees the monks, right? It's the time for Vinchester to go for a tournament himself, and ideally, make sure that he does not fall behind in monk production. He's got 2 monasteries already. That's good. Probably he'll want to get a 3rd monastery up. Now Nicov does have 3, actually. But yeah, once again, it's gonna take something short of miraculous for Nicov to come back into this game. Vinchester. Vinchester's not going for a tournament. Once again, not really sure if he's already gotten it. There we go. And here comes Nicov. Atonement's coming up now for Vinchester, so he didn't have it up until now. He's got the light cavalry upgrade on the way. Husbandry. He's just getting what he needs. In only a matter of 10 seconds, Vinchester is gonna make it to the Imperial Age himself. And Nicov didn't really do much of anything with the Imperial Age. I mean, he got block printing, and that's about it, right? He doesn't have chemistry. He doesn't have bombard cannons. He didn't go for trebuchets. I guess he did go for some Fatery. Yes, he's got the 3rd Fatery on the way right now. So I guess he did do something. But I don't know if he's got too much to show for it still. Vinchester? Yeah, Vinchester's got block printing coming up. And nice reaction from Vinchester. And Nicov's like, yes. Oh boy, Nicov's so happy about this. Oh god. Vinchester just smiles. Something needed to go in favor of the Argentinian, right? But is it going to be enough though? That's the question. He's got Theocracy coming up. He just finished researching Fervor. Yeah, Theocracy is something that Vinchester also needs to go for, yes. He's not gone for it yet. Beautiful. Scale Barden armor on the way, Vinchester. Honestly, against monks, it's not really going to need it. It's just for the organ guns. Illumination's coming in for Vinchester as well. Yeah, Nico's just in a Hail Mary here. Vinchester's going for the 4 TC. Nico still on 1 TC, just a Fateria is trying to compensate for the lack of economy. He's gone and added the 4th Fateria, so population technically higher for Nicov. In reality, right, the amount of units is much higher for Vinchester. So here come the light cavalry against the monks. That's gonna be a lot of units for Nicov, potentially be exposed, but the conversions do connect though. However, is that going to be enough? It seems like it's not. As the monks are going down, Nicov loses everything. While he will get some conversions, he might end up still getting the rest of the monks down from Vinchester. He ended up losing everything himself, and he's not in a position where he'll be able to easily replenish this. Well, if you take a look at Vinchester's economy, it's gonna be much easier for the blue player, for the red player, sir, to keep on going for more units, right? So he bounces right back up to a good amount of light cavalry. And Nicov is trying to go for more monks right now as well. Keeping up with military count compared to Vinchester, and Vinchester kind of dropping the ball over there a little bit, not going for any monks himself. Instead, he's going to try and make a transition into something else. He's going to make a play for archers. Alright, we are crossmen right now for Vinch. Nicov is surviving still pretty nicely, but he's in no winning position whatsoever. And we have Rathas coming in from Vinchester. Not the biggest fan until he gets all the upgrades he needs for those, I think. Crosses are probably on their own right going to be better. And to be honest, I think probably just sticking to light cavalry and monks would have been better for Vinchester. We have light cavalry coming up now for Nicov instead. And Vinch is trying to get a castle up in the north. This one's getting the night. Same situation up in the north. Nicov is preventing Vinchester from playing outside the walls. Well, up in the north anyway, right? Vinchester does have a 2nd TC, or actually a 4th TC technically, down the south. Nico resources go brrr. He does have 5 Faterias already. Damn. How many extra villagers? 55 villagers. You know, that's gonna be 155 eco population, so to say, so he doesn't really have too much space for military anymore. Yeah, but his economy is looking pretty strong. It's probably comparable to Vinchester's. There we go, we see big engagement taking place right now. We have the Rathas, we have the light cavalry from both these guys. Trebuchets from Vinchester as well. And he's gonna try and take the engagement now. That is a lot of units over here from both these guys, both Vinchester and Nicov. They're going to put it all on the table, and it seems like the monks are going down from Nicov to the light cavalry from Vinchester, but ultimately it is the red player who's going to get cleaned up. And Nikov's Organs over here have gotten to the numbers he needed for this to be a deadly army, right? The Bengalis get heresy? I don't believe they do. No elephant civilization does, if I recall correctly. I think the Malay are the only civilization that gets heresy, if I'm not mistaken, with access to elephants. But Bengalis, I don't think they do. And you know what, Vinchester is starting to take a lot of heat over here. As you see, seems like it's gonna go down. It's got 15 villagers over there. Chamber the numbers here for Vinchester. He's going for bloodlines. Yeah, once again, it feels to me like it probably would have been better for him to just stick to the light cavalry and monk play. and just try to prevent Nicov from getting to the numbers of organ guns that he wanted to, right? And Nicov's already getting to a critical mass of organ guns in Vinchester. Vinchester's trying to batter the walls down to get the castle up. He's got it. But Nikov's pressure is strong. He's got a castle coming up forward, a siege workshop, an additional siege workshop coming forward. He already has 2 bombard cannons. A lot of organ guns. Vinchester has, by the looks of it, only the forward goal left, from what I can see. Yes, he doesn't have any resource left in the back, so if he does not get access to the center, if he does not get control of the center soon, he's about to run out. This gold? It's got only 2,600 gold left. Does not really seem like a low amount, but it does run out very quickly, and Nicov is not even going to let Vinchester collect from this one. So actually, Nicov looks like he might actually pull this off, guys. It seems like the Hail Mary is working. It seems like Nikov's prayers have been answered by the Lord above, as he's certainly looking like he's in the winner position right now. Take a look at the population from Vinchester, and even if Nikov's population is kind of misleading because of all the featurias he's gone for, it's still going to be 200 population over here, and it's still going to be 158 of eco population because of the 5 featurias plus the villagers compared to Vinchester's 116. The military count so much higher for Nicov, and it's going to remain so the case as Light Cavalry get completely flattened from Vinchester. Nikov's momentum is starting to pick up some steam, and Vinchester cannot find a good answer to Nikov's push. And guys, it seems like he's gonna do it. It seems like the Argentinian is getting the victory that he so desperately needed, but this will leave Vinchester in a very precarious position. It was not just Nicov that needed to win over here. Vinchester was also in kind of a rough spot, and losing the series is going to leave him how much closer to the demotion area. We're gonna take a look at the standings after the game is over, of course, but right now Nikov's momentum seems unstoppable in Vinchester. He's probably just shaking his head right now in disbelief, and Nicov just getting away with murder here. Yeah, Vinchester kind of flip-flopped a little bit too much. Didn't really commit too much of anything. He went for the light cavalry at the beginning, but they didn't even have bloodlines back then. He didn't commit to them. Then tried to make a transition to the crossbows. Didn't commit to those either. And now it seems, but too late. Because there's a lot, but in the group, he needs to sweep the Lord. We'll take a look at the standings to get more details about that. I think there's only one series left, right? There's going to be Doubt versus Nicov. That's the last series left, because I think Vinchester... Or was that the other group that we were taking a look that had simulations for only 2 sets left? I think that might have been a different group. We're going to have to take a look at it, but yeah, for sure, we will. After the game is over, and Nicov seems to have pretty much a guaranteed victory over here. Vinchester only has some light cavalry to work with. Well, he might be able to... Let's assume that all the organ guns disappear over here for a moment, that he does get the monks, right? When the organ guns come back, what does he do? The light cavalry are just not enough, quite clearly. It's been the case for a while, and it's not going to be any different in the next engagement. There's nothing that's different about Vinchester's defensive play over here compared to the previous attempt at trading for the organ guns, so... Yeah, Nicov is still going to come out on top. He's got Cavalier coming up. And we see the engagement coming in with the light cavalry trying to dodge the organs. They will end up taking all the monks. Yes, sir. And once again, the organs will clean out the light cavalry. They stack up so well. 20 organs in a 2x2 tile grid will take care of these light cavalry absolutely no problem. The surface to volume ratio over here, of course, favors Nicov by a lot. But the surface to unit count ratio for Nicov is going to favor him so much. And Vinchester doesn't seem like he's got a chance anymore. It seems to me like this is going to be just a GG, and Vinchester agrees. Nicov, guys, will us get game number 3 over here with a very interesting game. A very interesting game. I sustain that I think Vinchester should have taken this one. But not to take anything away from Nicov. He did play very well given the, very precarious position he found himself after the castle originally got denied at the center. Vinchester might have made a few mistakes, but there is absolutely a lot of skill required for Nicov to pull something like this off. It's not going to be just Vinchester throwing, right? But it's going to be Nicov's gameplay. Being on point as well, massing the units, being patient, making the play for monks. Well done. Well done. Vinch going from winning the last Platinum League to relegated. We're going to take a look at the standings in a moment. Is this the last game for today, or is there something else after? There is one more series coming up. It's going to be with Record the Games. So for that one, you're going to get access to the games in a moment. But a KD for Nicov in the end is going to surpass 9 to 5 KD ratio. We have a stronger economy for Vinchester, but Nicov was surprisingly able to keep up with this because of the freaking Feitoria. He just managed to get so much out of it. Plus all the relic gold over here from collecting 4 relics. Nicov was able to keep up like surprisingly well against Vinchester. Hold on. All right, let's go back. And let's take a look at the standings, shall we? Yes. So this was for Group A. Nicov right now is on 4 points after winning the first set of the group stage over here. He has picked up a few points, but it's not enough, right? Vinchester, on the other hand, he already played all 5 series and is guaranteed to get demoted. Season 3, Vinchester is going to move down to the Gold League. Well, Season 3, Nicov does still have a chance of staying in the Platinum League, but he's going to have to either sweep out, that's the last series that's going to be left for Group A, or if he wins 2-1, I think he will still get demoted, right? Because I think he lost versus Running and versus Valles. Yeah, the only series that he won was versus Vinchester. Invariably he did lose versus Running, versus Valles, and versus ACCM already. So he's got to sweep out. That's the only way in which Nicov stays in the Platinum League. That's a brutal group. 3 players on 6 map wins. 6 map wins, yes. And Group A is also going to be kind of in a similar position as well. Pretty close scores over here. And yeah, it's quite clear that Vinchester gets demoted over here. I don't think there's a way for him to make it out, right? He already played all the sets. He cannot go any higher than this. Valles and Running already played their 5 series, and it's just going to be Dal versus Nicov. It's just going to be a matter of whether Nicov is able to push Vinchester down to the 6th place or not, but it makes little difference, right? They would still both get demoted. So that is the current standings for Group A. Final series left to play is going to be Dal versus CM. Dal versus Nicov, and that's going to define the fate of Nicov specifically. And potentially Running, right? If he